The New York Mets needed a left-handed reliever in the bullpen, and they got their man yesterday in A.J. Minter. Now, A.J. Minter is being signed for 2 years, $22 million with an opt-out after the first year. This fills the hole. A lot of rumors swirling around that the Mets were interested in Tanner Scott. However, this probably fills that left-handed reliever hole and will allow them to go in full pursuit of a corner infielder. At this point, it appears that the Mets will either sign a first baseman or a third baseman, and now that they're no longer hunting for a left-handed reliever, their full attention, or at least their primary attention, can be focused on that. Let me just give a quick little breakdown. A.J. Minter was an integral part of the Braves' postseason run a couple years back, and he brings that same level, assuming he is healthy and back from injury. And this deal is kind of great for both. It's great for Minter because if he can prove that he is well worth his value after one season, he will be able to opt out and be a free agent again next year. But on the other hand, if it doesn't work out too well, the Mets are not in this super deep and not a super long-term contract. This is the David Stearns MO, that he wants to sign high leverage players, but for short-term contracts, especially when it comes to pitchers. He does not want to be locked into relief pitchers for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. 1 year, 2 year opt-outs. This is the play. And so that gives him lots of flexibility without having all this cash locked up for years and years to come if this doesn't work out. So I consider this deal a win-win for both Minter and the Mets. The Mets get the lefty reliever that they're looking for. Minter gets a basically 2 years, but a 1 year prove-it contract. And if it works out well for him, then he has the opportunity to continue his pursuits of getting maybe a larger and longer contract as well. And the corner infielder front is definitely where the focus is going to be from this point forward. Are the Mets going to get Bregman? Are the Mets going to get Vladdy? Is there going to be somehow be a miraculous reunion between the Mets and Pete Alonso? Of course, that's looking very unlikely at this point in time. But one of those places needs to be filled. You could argue, well, Vientos could go to first, but then you need a true third baseman. Or if you're going to try to keep Vientos at third, then you need a real first baseman. So the pursuit here should be shifting almost, and I would not be surprised if the Mets would kind of lean in the area of trying to get the third base locked up first, because then if Pete and Vladdy are both still available and first base isn't locked up, then they have lots of flexibility there. So my gut is this is purely my gut feeling here. I think they're going to go all out for Bregman at this point. If you go all out for Bregman, then you have a lot of flexibility in your roster construction, and you still have the ability to either trade for a Vlad Guerrero Jr. or continue to negotiate with Pete, and maybe at a certain point in time when the itch to start playing baseball comes around, then maybe Pete would be willing to compromise a little bit on the deal that he wants to get to a deal that is a little more Mets friendly here. So that's what we have for today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers. We are YouTube's smallest Miami Dolphins and New York Mets channel, and so appreciate you watching this here today. So tell me, what do you think? What do you think about this A.J. Minter signing? Do you see any more reaching out for starting pitchers? I do think that the Mets are still probably low-key in the starting pitcher market at this point in time. They're probably looking to see if they can find something, especially with Roki Sasaki off the board and once again going to the Dodgers. You need to keep building this arms race with the Dodgers if you're going to be competing with them. Now, obviously, there's no such thing as an unbeatable team in baseball, because baseball is just one of those sports that a ball bounce, a slump at the wrong time can absolutely decimate your season. But the more pieces that you have surely locked into place, as the Dodgers do, the more margin for error you have if injuries hit, if players are having, slumps or in an off season or different things like that. So I definitely expect that the Mets are still low-key searching for another starting pitching option. Of course, they're always looking to upgrade, but I'm going to be guessing that the pursuit of Bregman is going to be pursuit number one at this point, and then keeping their options open with either Pete or Vladdy or some other first base option, or just working, depending on their comfortability level, with Vientos playing first base this spring.